Hi everyone, it's me, Vasoya. I'm back coming to deliver some words of encouragement in a time in the world where everything is chaotic and people are like all over the place, and it's so much going on right now, and I just want to remind people of some things so they don't lose focus, especially with all the craziness in the world. One thing I was led to share from the Most High Yah is to always remember Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, to trust in Yah with all thine heart and lean not to thy own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. I'm sorry if the phone is shaky and stuff. I'm actually in the car, actually driving. Technically shouldn't be doing that, but this was pressing on my heart. So I said it to say that it's a crazy world right now that we're living in. You have so much going on, and people think we're getting back to normal and the new normal has started. But the thing that has been lost focus on lately that I've been seeing going on is nobody's focusing on Yah. Nobody's trusting in him. Nobody's giving him the glory and the praise and all the honor that he deserves. Instead, people are sitting up there bickering and all this arguing and panicking about how we're going to survive, and all about, preparing for what's to come next. And it's just like a lot of stuff that's going on. And it's like, through all of this, we have to remember that we have to trust in Yah. Like, he's the one who's been protecting us all this time. So why do we think that he would just stop? And why do we think that he just forgot about us and neglected us? And we have to remember that we have always throughout history been the ones that walked away from him. He never walked away from us. It was always us who never trusted him, always had doubt. And even through that, he still loved us and still supplied every need that we had, and even wants. And so in the midst of all of this, we have to remember that Yah is in control. Because even in Isaiah 45 and 7, where it says, I, Yahuwah, created all things good and evil, we have to remember he created everything. So even Satan has to get permission from him. So there's nothing in this world that can happen that he's not over. So instead of panicking and getting scared and operating the spirit of fear, we have to lean on and trust in Yah. And also remember that a lot of us can't afford to buy all these different things. And I'm seeing all these different videos about prepare. Yes, we're supposed to be prepared, but we need to prepare spiritually more than anything. What does it mean if you have generators and all this stuff and your heart is not right? And you don't even have a relationship with Yah, and you don't even know what his voice sounds like. And then what about those we're supposed to be witnessing to? We're supposed to be reaching out to the lost sheep. It's not just about everybody who's so quote unquote awakened. There's people that still are waiting to hear his voice, and we don't even know about those whose heart he's working on, because we're so focused and being self-absorbed with ourselves, instead of actually waiting and being patient to hear from Yah and hearing his voice and have him guide us. We got to stop letting man lead us. Like, whether we came from the church or whether you came from synagogues, wherever like Muslims be at or whatever. I'm not trying to be ignorant, because I don't know where every different temple and stuff people come from, but it doesn't matter. It's the point of the matter is that man has led us astray. We need to stop letting men lead us astray and let Yah be our head and our leader. He's the one who guides us. He guides us in everything. And have his Ruach in us and be appreciative of his Ruach. Stop grieving his Ruach. Stop rejecting his Ruach. We're so focused on listening to people that we're not listening to the Ruach. Like, at the end of the day, when our forefathers, when they were escaping from Egypt, they wasn't worried about having generators and having cars and having all this stuff. Even through when they were being delivered, he split up, opened the Red Sea, and he also provided manna for them, and he also gave them light, and he never let them go without. And instead of just operating in fear and doubt and worry, let's trust him, because at the end of the day, we're scattered across the world. We're scattered across the world. So realistically, nothing that we do even matches up to what he's going to do. He said this Exodus was going to be greater than the last one. And yet we think that, in our minds, think that he needs our help to bring it along and put it together. He doesn't need our help. He's the creator of the heavens and the earth and the sea thereof. So he doesn't need us. What he needed us to do is to be repentant, to have a heart serving after him and chasing after him, instead of chasing after the things of this world. Because at the end of the day, right now, it could be a natural disaster and everything that you bought can get washed away in a flood. Then what? Then what you're going to do? So instead of worrying, start trusting in him. And instead of all these different arguing and about petty stuff, our focus should be serving Yah and giving him the glory and testifying of his goodness and his mercy toward us and how he constantly keeps us and he's never left us nor forsaken us. Instead of worrying about stupid stuff at this point. All these debates and arguments and battle. I don't care who it is because I serve Yah. I'm a servant of him. And I don't care who likes what I have to say because I'm his messenger. And when he tells me to get on here and speak, I'm going to speak. Other than that, I don't speak. But we need to stop focusing on stupidness and focus on Yah. Put our attention back on him. Start sitting up there spreading his word and testifying of what he brought you through that can help your next brother and sister who is struggling. A lot of people is hanging on to dear life. There's people that's walking away from the church and they have nowhere to go. We have a lot of people that are atheists because the same mess that they saw in the churches, they're seeing amongst us right now, and that's sad. And that is really, really disturbing because, again, it's taken away from my Father's glory. And I'm here to serve my Father, and that's what we're supposed to do. And we're supposed to have a heart chasing after him and seeking him. So we need to wake up, because while we're sitting there talking about the 2/3, a lot of us who focus on stupidness and letting fear and doubt and letting people drive our relationship and our force with Yah, we better hope we're not the 2/3. So while we sit there condemning everybody else, because we don't even know who Yah technically have as the 2/3, we better hope we make the first resurrection. That's what we should be focused on, really, instead of stupidness. So we need to be working on our own salvation with fear and trembling and getting right with him and seeking his face and turning from our wicked ways instead of always thinking that we have to do everything and we have all the answers. Because that's the case, we would have been gone a long time ago. And that's the point. We're not supposed to depend on man. We're supposed to depend on Yah. Yah is the way. His son is the truth and the light. So we need to get it together, people. Seriously. Because it's a major shift happening in the spiritual realm, and we're so focused on the physical that we're missing the purging out that's going on in the spiritual. We're not even prepared for battle spiritually, which is, it shows in the physical. And the enemy is laughing at us because we're so debating on titles and languages and just stupidness and making sure we have this and we have, yes, you're supposed to be prepared, but I would rather be prepared spiritually and let my Father who created everything be my guidance and use his ruach as my wisdom than to depend on people. I'm a witness. I've told you guys plenty of times. In the storm where nobody had power, I had power. He even brought me through the mountains, through the mountaintops where I didn't know if I was going to die. It's so many occurrences I've shared of how he's kept me. And I wasn't prepared. And he kept me. And he's done that for a lot of us. But yet and still we don't trust him. And it's sad. And we need to do better. Because how can we expect for him to keep coming through for us? And we always drop the ball when it comes to Yah and trusting in him. Instead, we worried about everything else. So I just wanted to come on here to say, start trusting in Yah with all your heart, with all that. Love him with all your soul, with all your might. And start building a relationship with him and get right with him. And please meditate on Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Read it daily. Let that be a part of when you wake up and when you go to sleep. Because that's the problem. A lot of us is not meditating on his word. And once you start meditating on his word will be in us. And his light can shine upon us and through us and on us. So I just wanted to say this, and I hope everyone have a good afternoon or evening or wherever you're at, morning, because everybody's all over. But truly seek him and have a good one. Until next time.